What's going on, everybody? Payneblade back here again from server 1 representing ISC. Guys, video 2. Here we go. I promised you this one through the community chat and I don't want to leave you guys hanging. Now here's the thing. Flashback Genealogy. This one with the two kids. The two kids, you heard me, is the toughest one I think I've ever had to do in a long time. Now there's a little misconception here. A lot of people think it's because of Sasuke that the problem really lies. The real issue actually is Naruto. I'm going to explain to you guys why he's an issue and why you guys need to take him out before you try to take out Sasuke, and what Naruto brings to the table to make this so difficult, and then we're going to explain what units you should do. First things though, the 19 Shiney coins, guys, PC browser, I don't buy from here. That's why I'm at 19. A lot of you are going to ask me, like, oh, you're so broke. You know what? PC I am, mobile I'm not. But anyways, let's get to why we're here. So first and foremost, I want to talk about Naruto. As you guys can see here, I've been opening a lot of gift boxes and just naturally been getting him without using any URs to 5-star. I think we're almost at, yeah, I mean, we're going to get to 6 by the time this event's done. Most likely 7, to be honest, at this point. But here we go. This is the reason why he is so damn good, okay? As long as he's alive, you're going to face a big problem. The first one being this, the guts to never give up. As long as he's alive, he gives Sasuke and himself 25.8% damage reduction rate up. That's a lot. That's a lot. And chances are the unit will also have his LB2, meaning he gives an additional 23.8% damage reduction rate on top of what he already gives. And that is going to be Sasuke getting all of those. Now Naruto here doesn't get the 25.8. He gets the 23.8 though right there, and he also boosts guard rate by 25.8% for the users and allies. So that means himself. So when you see the user and allies, that means himself and the allies. When it says just allies, guys, the user doesn't get the buff. So it has to say user and allies. So Naruto will get 23.8% and 25.8%, but he will not get the 25.8. Sasuke, on the other hand, will though. So this is kind of where you're facing this problem, right? Like, look at this. He boosts guard damage reduction rate as well too. So the reason why Sasuke is so hard to kill is because Naruto is alive. As long as he's alive, you guys will face this problem. Now, here's the catch. The 25.8% when you kill Naruto is gone. Alright? But the 23.8% will remain for the rest of the battle. So that, unfortunately, you'll have to deal with no matter what. So how do you counter that, right? How do you counter such big percentages? I'm going to explain to you guys how. So the second thing you might want to worry about, and this is going to cause you to maybe reset the game, is if Naruto gets his skill 2, so his unique skill, this pretty much means you got to reset the game. Because for the next 2 turns, not only is he giving Sasuke what I just told you, but he also gives him the 13.85% on top of that. All right, so if you see a skill 2 from the get-go, you may want to consider resetting, because it's going to cause you to do a lot less damage on the first turn on the spirit jutsu, which most likely you're going to have 3 jutsus there, and then it's going to cause you to do more or less on the energy one. Okay, so that's another key thing to look out for. Lastly, if he pulls off his jutsu, guys, before you kill him, it's pretty much good game. You may as well reset the entire thing and start over again. So the question is, how do you counter this? How do you counter somebody with so much damage reduction rate and guard rate on one unit? Man, he pretty much puts people at 100%, which is just broken. So first off, using him as a character, guys, a lot of talk's been going on. He's not that good. He's like, who are you guys? Like, are you guys looking at the same Naruto I'm looking at? Because this character here is nutty. Like, he should be considered one of the top, probably the top D character. Remember B version 2 came out last time and I was like the best tank? Yeah, you may as well just scratch that at this point. This character just upped the ante for all D units out there. Not only is he a better nuke, he's a better tank, and he brings just way more to the table, including this FG. So how do you counter it? All right, that's the real question. Okay, so first thing, the best units you want to use here, guys, are units that do damage reduction rate down. The top unit for this entire fight, believe it or not, is going to be Toby. That's right, Toby. Now, why Toby? Let me show you. I'm going to scroll down and kind of find my Toby. I use Toby for 2 things. I use Toby for his skill 2 and his LB2 plus his trait, okay? Now, Toby is really good in FG, specifically for a couple reasons. Number one, his skill 2 does 30.53% damage reduction rate for the rest of the battle on any target. So this is a great way to counter a little bit of Naruto's damage reduction rate on Sasuke. So you want to use him and instantly get this to proc. If you don't have this proccing, you reset the game, you go again. As you see here, I'm only level 80. I'm going to push him to 99 or 100 and get this as high as I possibly can, because that is the highest skill 2 damage reduction rate in the game. Skill 2 specifically, not Shikamaru's jutsu, okay? Not only does he do that, but he also has intangible body, which gives a lower reduction rate by 35.27% for all defense shinobi, so that's Naruto. So when you do your tribe, and I'll explain which tribe to use, you can one-shot Naruto hopefully. But secondly, as long as he's active during that turn, he'll reduce the damage reduction rate of all units that are active, so including Sasuke and Naruto, by 11.37%. So that's knocking it down even further. So this unit alone will give you roughly about 42% damage reduction rate, which actually takes away a lot of Naruto's buffs. But then that leaves Sasuke at perfect damage reduction rate stat, which he started off with without the buff. So what do you do next? Another great unit to use is Sasuke Kirin. Not only are you going to do additional damage reduction rate, you're also going to do more damage on Naruto. So there's a damage reduction rate here by 23.92%, but you're also going to do more damage on Naruto doing his jutsu, plus he gives you a buff here for attack and damage increase rate for the units that are active. So he's a great unit to have on your team with his LB2. Even his skill 2, guys, you want to proc in the beginning if he's not jutsuing, because it does lower damage reduction rate by 12.94%. But there's one other unit here that does more than Kirin and does way better nuking, and some of you may have him, some of you may not, but that is going to end up being our little guy, Obito. Obito's jutsu is nuts. It not only does it hit insane amount of damage, but it also does an insane amount of damage reduction rate for 3 turns, which is pretty much the entire battle if you're starting him at the spirit level. It does 38.8%. Remember, now we've learned that debuffs do stack. This will actually help you bring Sasuke closer down to 0% damage reduction rate, which will help you end up killing him better and faster in the long run. Now, those are the 3 best units you probably want to use in this fight for that specific reason. Other support units you must have. Sai obviously is a given. Deidara for his crit damage. The new Mei, if you don't have Deidara, as long as she can jutsu, should give you additional crit damage. So those are some big units. Minato, I'm going to say use him for the tribe. Now that's what I was going to get to next. The tribe that's going to help you beat this, if you don't have a good co-op setup, but if you have Minato, Jiraiya, and Naruto, is going to be bonded by Rasen. Now BBR does 60% extra damage to D units. So ideally you want to hit Sasuke, and then have one attempt at one-shotting Naruto. Or you can try to hit Naruto more and take him out with this, and then focus on Sasuke, and hopefully you one-shot him with your co-op, right? So BBR is probably the best one. Now I've tested the next one out. It's going to be the new ultimate cloud combo with BA and Darui. It does do pretty damn good damage on Sasuke. So if you can take out Naruto first, let's say you have Minato but you don't have the tribe, you want to put Minato on your team as a nuke, and you focus on Sasuke or Naruto first, this tribe is actually really good at hitting A units because it does I think it's 50% more damage to A units, as long as you have the 3 on your team, obviously. So guys, those are the best units to use and best tribes to use for this fight. Outside of that, co-op is probably going to do the best in terms of damage if you don't have either of those tribes. New Team 7 is decent. Rasengan entrusted by father and teacher is decent as well too, but unfortunately they just don't have enough firepower because their multipliers aren't that high. The 2 I mentioned are probably the highest you can do. So that's my advice to you guys. Take a look at that. Hopefully it helps you. Put them in your team, line them up, see how much damage reduction rate you can do on Sasuke, and hopefully you can take him out first and then one-shot Naruto, or vice versa. Set up a T team with a really good tribe or co-op and kill Naruto first, and then focus on Sasuke after. Alright guys, I hope this video helped. We'll talk soon.